Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me set up the room real quick and then we can get started. The market's gonna open in about 8 minutes, so I gotta do this a little quickly. Good here. There. That's good. All right, cool. While it's being sent out, I'm gonna go ahead and send out the link to you guys here. That Zoom link sent out to you guys. Just up real quick and we should be good to go. All right, cool. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and send out that link to you guys as well. All right, cool. Sent out there. All right, got that link sent out there. And then lastly, to the indices group. Jay's asking, please, do you know any funding program apart from FTMO? Guys, like a lot of people keep trying to look for like different funding groups, but I mean, finding a different funding group isn't going to make a difference for you, right? If you guys can't pass the FTMO, you guys won't be able to pass anything else. So, as you know, I just want to be realistic with you guys because I feel like a lot of people try to find like an alternative to FTMO or funding talent. The thing is, guys, it doesn't matter like which one you do. If you can't pass one of them, you won't be able to pass, any of the other ones. So just, keep that in mind, guys. Because I keep getting a lot of questions from people asking about like these other smaller funding groups that I've never heard of. The thing is, there's a lot of scamming company groups out there because there's so many people out there that that are like so desperate to find an alternative. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right, but anyways, morning, guys. It's 5 minutes till market opens. Looking over here on the 10-minute, let me just see if there's any other. This thing's all messy. I'm just gonna leave it alone with the zones for now. So anyways, on the 10-minute here, it looks like it's bullish. Here on the 3-minute, it's oops, all right. On the 3-minute, it's also bullish, and the 1-minute here, it's also bullish. So we got a bullish bias on the technical side. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is also green. Same on the 3-minute, same thing. Price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green. And then lastly, on the 10-minute, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So the technical show a bullish bias. So we're looking for a possible bullish entry on the breakout. We just need to wait for the market to open so that we'll have the fundamental confirmation over here. Looking over here on the future side, it's somewhat bearish. It's negative 18 points. So we'll see how it opens up in the the next 4 minutes. So let me go ahead and get all this stuff set up right here. I think we're good for the most part. All right, let me close this right here. I exit theater mode. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Morning short scene. Morning Marcus. Morning Cook Nation. Morning Win and Gray. Nice. Haven't seen you in a while, Win. Morning Kenny. Morning Jumpy. Morning Marcus. Morning Roy. Morning Eve. Morning Razul. Morning Lisa. Morning everybody. So hopefully you guys had a great day yesterday. We sure did. No losses, straight wins. So ready to possibly take this trade here. Just keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of news today. So there was news at 5:30 right here. There's Canadian news and US news at 7:30 is the next news event, crude oil inventories. And then lastly, we have FOMC later in the morning at 11. So I think the only trade we're going to take today is going to be the breakout. And then, I mean, I'll probably hang out and answer questions if you guys have questions, but I'm probably not going to be trading anything else after that because of all the news this morning. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of market manipulation today. So I think after the breakout, everything after that's going to be pretty messy because we do have news coming up in about an hour. And then after that, all the FOMC stuff coming later is just going to cause a lot of, either it's going to make the market really slow or it can make it really crazy. And with the Fed speaking today, Biden's probably going to speak as well. I think a lot of people mentioned that Biden was going to meet with Putin today or sometime this week. So just, just keep that in mind. So if you guys do decide to trade after the breakout, make sure to use proper risk and, proper lot sizes. Let me check the other chat. Morning, Ardonis. Morning, Peter. Morning, Miles. Morning, Goldie. Morning, Gallo. Morning, Josh. Morning, Mark. Morning, Matt. Morning, Roman. Morning, Emmanuel. Morning, EW. Morning, everybody. So can you guys hear me? It looks like some of you guys said I'm laggy. Emmanuel said I'm laggy. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's just Emmanuel. Yeah, I think it's just you, Emmanuel. You might be the one that's laggy with your internet connection. So maybe you want to check on that. It looks like everyone else is perfectly fine. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. So let's see. Everything's good. Morning, Kyle. Morning, Vincent. Morning, Kenny. Kenny, if you're on the 10-minute or the 3-minute, any of these shorter time frames, you're supposed to set your trend meter to the same time frame. So if you're on the 10-minute, it's all set to the 10-minute. If it's 3 minutes, all set to the 3-minute. Vice versa on the 1 minute, it's all set to the 1 minute. So market's going to open in about 20 seconds. Let me give it some time right here. Once the market opens, we will, we'll determine if we're going to take this buy or not, because we're looking for a bullish move here. So bullish here on the 10-minute, bullish here on the 3-minute, bullish here on the 1 minute. We just need the fundamentals over here to confirm it. Once it confirms it, then we can take the, the trade. So market's open officially now. Here we go. All right, there we go. Market just opened. Let's check the fundamentals over here. It's fundamentally bullish right there, so it looks good. A huge bullish move right there off that this candle right here. So if this candle closes with a strong bullish candle, then we'll take it. If it closes with a big wick, then we'll probably just wait for it a bit for the next bullish candle. So I will let you guys know we got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I'll just leave this marked up in case. Let's see, it has a big wick, so I'm not sure if I'm going to enter right away. I'll probably wait for a little bit before I actually enter into it. Yeah, it has a huge wick right there. So I'm going to wait for the next one, or I'm going to wait for it to push up a little more before I enter. All right, so there's a breakout entry right there. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm not going to enter right away. You can see there's a pullback right there because it did have a big wick. So I'm not going to enter yet. Once it swings back up, I will enter. So I'm not entering the trade yet. Just waiting for it. You guys got to keep in mind it's a heavy news day today, so you're going to see a lot of market manipulation as as the market continues to move around. So I'm not going to enter the trade yet. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, huge candle right there. That's what you guys need to be careful of, because a lot of you guys are like not patient. You guys try to hop in right away. And the key here is to be patient, to wait for it to confirm. So see how it's pulling back super heavily? This is why we didn't enter yet. All right, let me go back to the fundamentals over here. So it looks like the news here on CNBC shows that the market's kind of flat. It doesn't look flat to me. Looks like it's super manipulated right now. So looks like we're not going to have a breakout entry today, guys. We were waiting for it to swing back up, but it doesn't look like it's coming back up. The fundamentals are now shifting to the downside, which is fine. I mean, we could probably enter for the downside if it continues, but we're just going to wait for it. So it's negative 30 points right there. We'll see where it goes from here. So I'm just going to keep watching it, see where it goes. Once it decides, what direction it's going to push, we can possibly take it for maybe 1 or 2 scalps. But after that, I think, that's pretty much going to be it. This opening candle right here still hasn't closed. So we have 7 minutes till this candle closes. Once it closes, it'll probably confirm the direction of price. So let me see. I'm going to mark up the zones right here just so that we can follow along. But overall, the market is just it's going to be choppy because there is heavy news today. Let's mark this up right here. All right. That's a huge bearish candle right there. So just be careful, guys. Like I was mentioning before, you guys gotta be careful because there's a lot of news coming up today. Mark this up right here. Yeah, Marcus said it's gonna make a sell. Yeah, I can see that too. I'm gonna wait for this 10-minute candle to close first because this is gonna be the main indicator right here. Because if it closes below the pivots, it's gonna shift back down for a downtrend. They basically faked people out. They made people think it was gonna go up and it came back down. But what could happen here is this can come down and then it can wick all the way up. There's still 6 minutes left on this candle, so there's a lot of time for it to make its move. Let me see this real quick. All right, so that's a 10-minute right there. Let me go over here real quick. 3-minute. So price is below the pivots here on the 3-minute. Price is also below the pivots here on the 1-minute. Looks like it's going to be bouncing back and forth. So it shot down, then it shot back up. The main key indicator here is going to be the 10-minute. So you can see right here where it's starting to wick back up, because it's basically trying to trap people and stop people out. So it stopped people out from the upside because what happened was when the market opened right here, some people probably try to enter when it was closed above here, right? Go back on the 1-minute over here. So this is why you guys got to be patient, because what happens here is they trap people. They push it up temporarily, like right here. So on the first candle right here, this was the opening candle, or this wasn't the opening candle. Oh, this is the 3-minute. Sorry, let me go back to the 1-minute. So going back to the opening candle right here at 6:30. See, if you saw this on market open, you probably would have gone trapped, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's super bullish, so it's gonna go up, right? So what happens is they stop everyone out right here. So say you had your stop loss like that, right? Because you have it below the pivots in case it reverses. So what happens is they stop everyone out this way. And then what happens when people get stopped out right here? Everyone's like, oh, it's shifting to the downside. So what happens? People enter the short right here, right? So what happens is people enter the long, they get stopped out. They see it drop right here and they're like, oh, it's going to drop. So what happens is they enter for a sell. And then look what happens now. They're going to get stopped out in both directions. This is why you guys got to be patient, because you're just stopping people out. Look, you can see it's clear market manipulation right here, right? It shot up. Whoever took the buy got stopped out. And then once you chase that, because if you're chasing price and you see price come down and you enter for a sell, what happens right here? If you enter there, you get stopped out again, because that's what they're just doing, guys. Like, you guys got to be patient and wait for it, especially for a heavy news day like this, because they spike price up to make you think it's going to go up. Then people enter the buy, they stop you out, they drop it down here. And what happens when you enter the sell? They shoot it all the way back up. So don't get caught in that market manipulation, guys. We're just waiting for the confirmation here. There's no confirmation yet. Market's barely moved at all. That's why we're waiting for the 10-minute here, because the 10-minute is going to be the main indicator here, right? If this closes above the pivots, then the bias is probably going to be the original bias that we thought of for that bullish move. This is basically what happens here. I mean, this is how the market works. The only reason I know this is because I've been trading US 30 every morning, like same exact time for the past 3 years. So I understand how it moves in the morning. I understand how it moves on heavy news days. This is why sometimes it's best not to trade on heavy news days. So we got 3 minutes left on this candle right here. Once it closes, we'll probably have a buy set at that point, or after the next one. But you guys got to keep in mind that we have oil inventories right here, crude oil inventories at 7:30. So that's in less than an hour. And then right after that, we have FOMC. So like I was mentioning before the market even opened, I mentioned that the market might be flat or it might be very manipulated. Right here on S&P, for CNBC, they mentioned that the S&P is flat near the record with, everyone waiting for the Federal Reserve. So basically the reason why it's flat is because a lot of people are just waiting for the outcome once the Fed speaks. The Fed speaks at 11. And that's why I recommended that it might be better for you not to trade, because you don't want to get caught in a flat market and then all of a sudden price just ends up spiking on you as soon as the news comes out or once they start speaking. So here's the 10-minute candle right here. We got about 2 minutes left on this candle. Once this closes, this will confirm the direction. So if this closes right here with this wick below, this is going to be considered a snipe entry. So I'll go ahead and probably mark that up if it closes above there. See, you can see this right here, right? So this is why we waited, because you would have gone stopped out in both directions. You would have gone stopped out for a buy. You would have gone stopped out for a sell. And then who knows right here, once price gets back to this area, price can do one of two things. It'll keep pushing up or it'll drop all the way back down. So you guys just got to be careful and wait for the market to really tell you what's going to happen next, right? This is why I don't really predict into the past too far. A lot of people are like, oh, what do you think the US 30 is going to do for the week? I'm like, bro, you can't really predict what's going to happen for the week because there's a lot of news. And that's how a lot of people blow accounts, because they try to like go too far ahead, especially for an asset like this. For Forex, it's a little different, but for US 30, this is something that you should like. It's highly manipulated during news events. And then if you're trading this from Monday up until, like, for example, if you traded it from Monday up until now, let's see what the 10-minute is. There's a ton of choppiness, right? Because Monday was, what was it, like right here on the 13th, I think. So you would have ran through a ton of choppiness right here, because price would have went down, then would have went up, and it would have went back down. And this is why we trade it daily, because we're in a scalping market right now. So you guys got to keep that in mind as well. All right, anyways, looking at this right here, we have about 24 seconds on this candle. Once it closes, this will probably provide for a snipe entry. I'm not going to take this entry though, so just keep that in mind. I'm just going to mark it up, but I'm not going to take it. This is it's way too risky of a trade because of how the market's moving right now. Yeah, Marcus, exactly. This is pretty much what we talked about yesterday, right? Last night for after the other session. Okay, so here's the snipe entry right here. I'm not here, just a reminder, because I'm not taking this trade. So if you guys want to take it, you can, but I don't recommend you guys take it. I'm just using this as a marker so that I can have a bias here. But the market is still being manipulated. You can tell obviously from this candle, huge wick off this candle. Going back to the 1 minute over here, you can see that it's still trapping people, right? So like going back to here, I'll just show you again what I just showed you guys earlier. So on the 1 minute here, if you didn't really, so here, I'll just turn this off so you guys can see. So here's market open, right, at 6:30. Everything looks like a nice uptrend. What happens is a lot of people enter this trade because they are like, oh, it's going to have to go up. So they enter this, and then their stop loss is like 500 pips or something like that. And then what happens is they enter the trade, they get stopped out. As soon as they get stopped out right here, what happens next? They enter for a sell because they're like, oh, price is definitely shifting. It has to go down, right? And that's the wrong way of thinking, because once you do that, they do the same thing, enter a sell right here. Price comes down. It gives them some hope right here on this last trade right here, or this last candle. They're like, oh, it's dropping. It's going to have to come down. Not exactly. It goes opposite and it stops you out that way. So what happens right here? They trick you again. So this is why you guys have to actually understand how the market moves, because you would have gone stopped out here. You would have gone stopped out here. Again, right here, you would have convinced yourself like, oh, it's finally correcting back up. So you enter that right there. And then what happens next? It comes all the way back down, right? And then at that point, your account's blown, because you would have lost like three big trades at back to back. So this is why you guys shouldn't fall for these traps. You guys have to wait for the market to actually confirm itself before you enter a trade. So not yet. We're still holding off because we're not going to fall for any of those traps this morning. So On the 3 minute, still pretty bullish. I mean, the bias is bullish here. Same here for the 1 minute. It's above. Now it's below. Now it's above. But we'll see where it goes from this point. We're not in this trade here, guys. It's just a markup to see if it actually plays out to where it's supposed to go. If it doesn't, then market's obviously still manipulated because it's going back and forth, right? If you guys look at the range here from open, so this is the opening candle right here. Market's only been open for like 12 minutes and it's ranged about 1,000 pips. So it's bounced back and forth about 1,000 pips. Yeah, Peter. So Peter said if it keeps moving like this, I doubt we'll be able to take any trades. You know, I agree. Same with me, Peter. Because the thing is, you don't want to enter US 30 if it's bouncing back and forth, right? Because the thing is, if you enter at the wrong time, you can easily get screwed. Like they'll just, you know, the market's not gonna go your way if it keeps bouncing back and forth. This is not necessarily how the market moves on open. So this is an example of how market's being manipulated, right? I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. So this right here is like a clear example of market manipulation because it's going back and forth, right? There's no direction set. It's not supposed to be volatile like that. For US 30, when market opens, it's directional one way. If you go to market from yesterday, so yesterday was the 15th over here, I'll show you when market was actually moving smooth or how it's supposed to move in the morning. So right here at 6, so from 6:30 to like 8, see how it's smoothly moving down? This is how we locked in all those profits yesterday because this is how the market's supposed to move. It chooses a direction and it keeps going. It doesn't go back and forth. This was yesterday. And then the day before that on the 14th, same situation, right? That's why we have such a high win rate because this is how the market normally moves during this time. So again, right here, 6 o'clock. All right, so 6:30 right here, up until 8 o'clock. Right? Smooth move, straight down. You want to see today's? Not a smooth move, right? It's back and forth. It's not really going one direction or the other. This isn't how it's supposed to be moving. I mean, obviously it looks like it's going to be coming down, but this is not how it's supposed to be moving. It's supposed to be moving smoothly from 6 to 8, from like this time right here to this time right here. But this is not smooth at all. So this is why sometimes it's better just not to trade than to play with their games, because you know this is the game that they want you to play into, because they want you to to pretty much get trapped in these spikes. So yeah, just like Peter said, you know, I'm very conservative with my trades. I don't like losing trades. That's why we have such a high win rate here at K2. So if the market doesn't start acting right, then we're probably just going to sit out today. And it's fine because there's a lot of news going on this week, or today, actually, just today. So yeah, there's a ton of news coming up right here. And the crude oil inventories is going to come out in about 40 minutes. So we got all this US news this morning. And you know, we'll just wait and see where it goes. I mean, I'm fine with what we have today, because if you guys look at our profits from this week, I don't think, okay, so some of you guys actually took the trade. So Patricia over here, she took the trade, but she took some quick moves. She made about 1,200. So you guys can do that. Like, for example, if you know what you're doing and you know the strategies that we're applying here, because technically you could have taken trades. It's just too risky for me to call you guys something and then you guys lose for on accident because we just took a risky trade. But Patricia over here locked in. She took another one actually, or she has two accounts. So one account she made 1,200. The other account she made 4,500. So if you guys know the strategy, you guys can do it yourself. It's just I don't want to put you guys in that situation where I'm in a trade and then you guys don't know what we're doing, and then I get in and out real quick with profit while you guys are still in the trade because you guys don't understand it. But yeah, I mean, this whole week we've been doing pretty good. Let me just show you guys my profits for this week, and I'll show you guys everyone else's. So we started this week on the 11th. So on the 11th over here, you can see all my profits. This is from Monday. I made about 2,400. This is my other account, 1,415, and then more there. So on Monday, I made about this much. This is my account, 3,647, and the other one, 1,971. The following day, we did it again. We've had no losses this whole week, so this is why I'm being a little careful. Again, right here, 9,578, and then the other one, 2,587, and then again yesterday, or no, that was yesterday. Sorry. So yeah, Monday. I forget this. Today's Tuesday. I mean Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday have been good. Today it's just it's a day that we should be careful. But anyways, I'll keep looking. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat and I can answer them. But I'll keep looking. I don't think we're gonna have an entry though, just from my perspective here, until this starts to move smoothly. That's why I have this marked up right here. If this starts to shift upwards and it hits TP, then I'm like, all right, the direction has been set, because technically it's supposed to be bullish, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where it plays out from here, because it's still bearish here on the 1 minute. It's bullish here on the 3 minute. So they're kind of both sides. Like it's bullish on the 10 minute, it's bullish on the 3 minute, but on the 1 minute it's below. So we don't really like that when things are conflicting. Looking at the fundamentals over here, let me just go over here and check to see. It's only negative 36 points. Usually we want it to be negative 100 points or positive 100 points for it to be a strong bullish or bearish bias. But right now it's kind of just, it's kind of dancing around the middle. So it hasn't really made its direction. If you guys look here at the actual Dow index, everything is kind of flat. Well, they're lined up, right? Like Amgen's up 3 points. Goldman Sachs is down 3 points. United Health is up 2 points. Caterpillar's down 2 points. So they kind of match up. They balance each other out. So it's not really one-sided. Looking at everything over here. So let's check the futures data. Yeah, Gene Vaughn, I do have MT4 for the computer. It's right here on the bottom. So yeah, looking at the futures data, it's negative 3 points, not really that far down. You can see it's bouncing between the negative and the positive right here. No, Gene Vaughn, I do everything on my computer. Bro, that's so hard to do on your phone. If you're to scalp on your phone, the market moves so fast. I don't think it'd be really possible. I mean, it's possible, but it's gonna be super difficult. So yeah, no, I do everything on my computer. I mean, if I'm risking that much money on my trades, I'm not gonna trade on my phone, right? Maybe if I was risking a couple $100, yeah, it'd be okay on the phone. But since we're scalping on the shorter time frames, you need to be as efficient as possible. All right, so the 3 minute shifted below. If this closes below, it looks like it's going to start shifting downwards, which is fine. But looking at everything here, yeah, I don't really see much. I was going to look at the Forex trades over here, but there really isn't much for us to take here either, because there's heavy news this morning. So I'm not really going to mess with any of these Forex trades either, because we might see some spike price once it hits 11, once the Fed starts speaking. So that's fine. Once the Fed starts speaking, that's actually a good thing, because they're going to cause volatility in the market. So they'll cause some spikes in price. Once those spikes happen, we'll catch the retracements, or we'll catch it as it continues pushing, in that direction once they're done speaking. So probably by Asia session tonight, we'll have some more entries for Forex. But I'm glad I didn't take any of these trades here. So I've been good. This over here. All right, there's no Forex trades anyways. Even if that was the case, the market's just too slow. So there wouldn't be entries to begin with. All right, so looking at the at US 30, it looks pretty bearish now. So I'll just leave this up for now. But looking here on the 3 minute, if this closes below here, it looks like it might start shifting downwards. So guys, can you see right here what I mean about the market manipulation? So if I go back here, I'll show you all of again, the different examples, right? If you were to follow this without any of the K2 indicators, so let me just turn this off right here. So this is market open right here, right? If you saw this right here, like you as a retail trader, what would you have done? You would have thought it had been bullish. So if you entered that trade right there, that would have been a loss, right? Straight to stop loss. And then again, right here, just following the, the bearish move right here. If you enter this for a sell, you would have been caught in this move as well to the opposite side right here. So for example, you enter that right there, again, right there, another stop loss. And then again, right here, if you saw that bullish move right there, what would have happened if you entered a buy, because you would have thought it's correcting back up. So this is how they trap new traders, because a lot of people don't really understand how to read the market. See that? And there's where current price is. So see if you enter that, if you fell for any of these traps here for a buy, a sell, and then again for a buy here, it looks like it's going to hit the stop loss again right here. So this is why we're just chilling right now. If you guys are wondering, why we're not taking any trades, because the market's being heavily manipulated right now. So it's shifting down right here. It's probably gonna hit the stop loss for whoever was following this. But good thing for us here, I actually know how the market moves, so we didn't fall for any of those traps. So we'll keep watching here. I mean, if that's the case, that'll just be the third trap that was set here. Maybe after that, market will start to move in its direction that it's supposed to go. But yeah, for the most part, there's just nothing here for me to look at, because you can see that market just keeps going back and forth. So if you guys have questions, I can answer your questions now. LTC Souk said, I scanned many trades this morning. Forex pairs are all ranging to hold off towards the news. Yeah, I agree with you. Souk, there's just nothing for us to really hop into. Let's see. Miles said, I heard that today there is a NFP equivalent this week for regular stocks that could affect US. Is that accurate? Well, the Fed speaking today, Miles, if that's what you're referring to. Yeah, that's the same thing I've been referring to all morning. The Fed speaking at 11. So they go over the economic projections for the month. This happens once a month around the same date, 15th or 16th, usually on a Wednesday. So I think this is what you're referring to, Miles. I'm not sure if you know anything else, but yeah, I mean, for me, this is what I know is going to happen today. I know tomorrow we have unemployment claims, which, I mean, that might be it as well, but this is what's really important to FOMC. It happens every month. So there's Miles said, someone told me it has a name, but I don't remember what it's called. It's probably the Fed, the FOMC, or it's the unemployment claims. But I mean, those are the only big news that are happening this week. I think also Biden's going to be meeting with Putin this week, or someone mentioned that yesterday. So that will also throw off the market, depending on how that plays out. Marcus is asking, a close with a sell sign on the minute. Yeah, I mean, it closed with the sell sign, but that could be another trap, Marcus. I don't think it's necessarily going to come down yet. Like, I don't have that confirmation, because it can easily just swing all the way back up to stop people out. But this is already 3 stop outs right here if you guys chase this, like the movement. So I think usually after 3 stop outs, it starts to move a little smoother. But I don't necessarily have, I don't have an entry set up for you guys right now. I'll turn on my alerts right here. I'll give you guys like I'll mark up risky trades if I see anything, but I'm not going to take any of these trades. I think I'm chilling for the day because of the upcoming news. There's just too much news coming up in a little bit. So if you guys have questions, if you guys wanted me to cover any strategies, if you guys have any questions about risk management, trade psychology, FTMO, anything like that, I can answer your guys' questions. I'm here to help you guys out. I don't really have an interest in trading today, my personal account. Let's see, nice. So Patricia just passed another funding account. Let me see. Nice, yeah. So Patricia just passed another challenge. So she's done right there. She just passed it with that. That's a crazy lot size, Patricia. Okay, her broker probably uses many lots. So she uses a 200 lot size. That's probably a 20. So nice work, Patricia, off that. Fund trader. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So a lot of you guys are trying these other funding companies. So if you guys have questions about, other funding companies, you can probably ask in the group. I personally don't use anything aside from FTMO. I've never used Funding Talent, so I don't really have an opinion on any of those other companies. Let's see. Marcus just sent me his profits. Nice, bro. Marcus locked in some profit here, about 90 bucks. So he's still trading, even though market's kind of like, spiking all over the place. But it's all good. As long as you're hitting profits, Marcus, it's all that matters, bro. So Marcus hit profits right there. Nice work, Marcus. He's trading on the 1 minute. So he's basically catching these right here. He's catching these little scalps as they come down. This is the trade that Marcus caught, this little sell signal right here, because it qualified for the pivot entry. So he took that entry right there and he hit full TP. So this is the trade that Marcus took. Right there, he marked it up on his chart, same exact one. Yeah, I mean, he made some nice profit out of $70 or $90 in total with all of these right here. So definitely great work on that, Marcus. I mean, Marcus is a risk taker, so he doesn't fear this this movement here. But yeah, no, definitely nice entry off that, Marcus. You actually made some pretty nice profit off that. But yeah, no, this is pretty much it for now. Let's see. Chris said, "Do you ever use a moving average breakout strategy when trading?" Are you talking about the one that's on the YouTube, Chris? Or are you talking about like a different moving average breakout strategy? I haven't, or you might be talking about the one on the YouTube. That's like, I mean, that was posted like I think 3 or 4 years ago. I don't use that anymore. But here, I'll just pull up the channel real quick. So I think Chris might be referring to, yeah, this one, right? The moving average breakout strategy. Yeah, I haven't used that. When was this posted? This was posted a long time ago. It was posted in 2019, so 2021. So about 2-3 years ago, it was posted. I don't use this at all anymore, Chris. I mean, it still works, but it's basic, right? It's as easy as it gets for the strategy. It still works, but I don't think it's as accurate or anywhere close as accurate as what we're currently applying. So yeah, I personally don't use it myself, Chris, because we have strategies that we use now. Like the video that I sent you in the email, that's what we currently use, and everything on the website is what we currently use. But I haven't used that breakout strategy in years. I mean, it probably works. It's a basic strategy, but it's not as accurate as the stuff that we're currently applying now. That was just like it was one of the first strategies I ever learned. So that's why I was showing it to you guys, so you guys can learn it if you guys wanted to. But it's not something that I currently use, or something that I've used in years. But it's a good starting point, Chris. So if you want to start off, and if you don't know how to trade at all, it's a good strategy to start off with. But once you get better, you're definitely going to want to move on to more advanced things like what we're doing now, because the accuracy on these trades are way higher. Like, we haven't really lost a trade. Well, we haven't lost a real trade in, I think, months. Last week there was market manipulation going on. There was issues with technical stuff on MT4, so it was a loss. But FTMO refunded me that trade because of the market manipulation that was going on. All right, we got a pending trade here. It didn't close, so there's no trade there. Keep waiting for it. Yeah, Chris mentioned, yeah, seems quite basic. I was watching it and didn't use any of the strategies shown in this live video. I like the pivot swing strategy. Yeah, no, that's a good strategy too. I mean, that's one of so the strategies that we're applying now, it's a spin-off from the pivot strategy. We just basically removed like the first 2 pivots, and then we just made it a little more straightforward. But yeah, no, definitely the pivot swing strategy is pretty good. I've used that before, especially during market conditions when the market's actually moving. Today it's just too slow. Well, this whole month is kind of slow, so it's hard for us to really take trades like that. So Marcus locked in some more profit off that right there. He took the sell. He locked in 148 for the day. Nice work, Marcus. So the trade that Marcus took right here was that same one that I just mentioned. This one right here. The reason why he took this trade here is because he was applying the K² pivots scalp strategy on the 1 minute. So basically you want to confirm a valid K² momentum signal. 2A, confirm price is breaking and closing past K² pivots. K² pivots 3 and 4, or 2B, confirm price is breaking Price is low pivots for a sell or above for a buy. So basically right here, this is a strategy that Marcus applied. So it's not a very difficult strategy. Basically, here's the valid K2 momentum signal because it's a red signal right there with a red candle within it. For 2A, you want to confirm prices breaking, closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. Right here, this candle is breaking and passing past those 2 pivots. So with that said, you would enter this for a sell here for a small little scalp on the 1 minute. And then once you enter that trade right there, full TP, right? So you would have won this trade in about a minute. That's how Marcus won this trade right here. Well, all these trades actually. He's taking all these little sell scalps as they as they appear. So that's the strategy that Marcus is applying right there. And Chris, this is a spin-off off the pivot strategy that we were just talking about. All right, so it's the same strategy again right here on the 3 minute. This is possibly going to be an entry. I'm not going to take it, but if you guys want to take it, this is going to be an at-your-risk trade, guys. So be very careful. Use your own, your own judgment. Use proper risk management, and don't over leverage or over trade. So this would be no, actually it's not. Sorry, guys. So that signal didn't close right there, so there's no entry yet. But that would have been the same entry that we would have been applying right here off the 1 minute. So it's the same thing. It's just done on the 3 minute. So that's the strategy there. Right here for this strategy, this would have been the snipe strategy, but obviously we wouldn't have taken it because of how the market's moving. We just haven't marked up, but this isn't an entry that we took or advised taking. So I think other than that, I don't really see much going on. Let me check the fundamental side to see if it's starting to shift downwards. All right, so now it's negative 46 points. It's bouncing around negative 50 points. So it looks like the market is starting to shift to the downside, which is good because this is going to confirm the direction for the foreseeable future. Because the thing is, we have news coming up at 11. So for 11, 8, 9, 10, we have news coming up at 7:30 actually. And then again, after that it'll go over to the FOMC at 11. So 8, 9, 10, 11, we have about 4 hours, but I'm not going to trade during that time. So if we see an entry here, I'll mark it up for you. But if not, then we'll probably hold off on that. My MT4 is starting to lose connection on here. Here, let's see. I'm going to scroll over here real quick and see what I'm missing. So Eric's asking, does the rules must be the same for NASDAQ 100 and UK 100, meaning it must be 100 points or more for a sell, or because they are 100 title instead of 30, it must be more than 100 points? Eric, the ranges for other assets are going to be different. It's not going to be the same as US 30. I personally don't trade NASDAQ 100 or UK 100, so I can't really say what the range would be for those. I guess we can take a look, but it's obviously going to be different because they move way different. Like US 30 is a way more volatile asset compared to I mean, they're kind of the same with NASDAQ, but with UK 100, they're a little different. So here, I'll pull it up for you to show you. Let me just go over here to the, oh, it's starting to shift back up. So this is why you wouldn't have wanted to enter that sell, because you would have gone trapped, right? So anyways, let me go back to, let me go to NASDAQ 100. I'll just look for a possible entry here, and then we'll just see what the range looks like. So like right here would have been an entry for a buy. I think it's around the 250 range. I mean, honestly, I don't know. So you have to ask someone that actually trades it, Eric. I don't trade it at all, so I can't really answer the question for you. But looking at this here, it looks like it's 250, or it might be less, because we use a double TP stop loss for the 3 minute. So I mean, depending on what strategy you're applying as well. Eric, I mean, if you could be a little more specific, like, what time frame you're trading on, what strategy you're applying, I can probably answer your question better. But I mean, your question is kind of it's kind of vague, because you're talking about, okay, sorry, no. Sorry, I totally read your question wrong, Eric. So you're talking about the fundamental analysis over here. So for this here, I mean, honestly, I don't know because I don't know what's a big move towards the upside or the downside. So I can't really answer that question for you right here because I don't even look at the fundamentals for NASDAQ. I thought you were talking about the charts over here. So I mean, that's something that you would have to play around with and figure out. You know, thing is, I trade US 30. I don't trade NASDAQ and I don't trade UK 100. So I can't really I mean, I can't really give you a good, here, let me just pull it up right here. FTSE. And you'd have to look on a normal day. So what I recommend is like today's not a normal day. So these things aren't really one-sided, but if you're looking over here, you'd have to look at it like if you looked at it yesterday or the day before that, if it was pushing past 100, then maybe that would be the points, but you know, it's not, I don't know everything. Like, you know, I know what I trade. I don't know literally everything in the market. So I can't really give you a gauge as to, you know, how many points should be negative or positive for that, Eric. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Personally, I don't really know. Eric said, okay, I understand, because I was thinking if it was a good day to trade US 30, all the indices move the same, Eric. So, I mean, if you see manipulation on US 30, you're going to see manipulation on NASDAQ. If you see manipulation on NASDAQ, you're going to see manipulation on UK 100. So I wouldn't, yeah, so you can see right here how it's choppy. We'll just, okay, so what we'll do is we'll match them up, right? So US 30 right here, super choppy, right? We'll go over to the NASDAQ 100. This one's a little smoother. Actually, it's a lot smoother. So yeah, it's weird because this looks like it's pretty bullish. So let me see if the NASDAQ, it's only up 50 points though. So this might be different. You know, the numbers might be a little different off this, Eric. I don't know if it would need to push straight, you know, past 100, because looking at the, here, let's see. So market opened right here at 6:30. Yeah, so I mean, it did a pretty big bullish move there. It moved up about like 3,000 pips, right? So 3,600 pips. Maybe it could be less for the NASDAQ because right here it's only up 45 points, but on the chart it's moved up a lot. So I would personally, I mean, if you really want to like master these, Eric, what I would do is I would just focus on one asset and then just keep doing what I'm doing for US 30, but do it for that asset, you know, for NASDAQ or for UK 100, depending on what you want to, on what you want to trade, because that's the only way that you really find out. The only reason I'm really good at US 30 is because I trade it every day and I, you know, I actually understand how it moves. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty bullish move here for US for NASDAQ 100. It's only up 50 points. So maybe it's at that 50-point range rather than the 100-point range. And then looking over at UK 100, this is like choppy right here. So I wouldn't consider this a good market to trade. I mean, the main thing that I would look at is if it's moving smoothly, right? So if you see it moving smoothly on the charts, then you would, like if I saw this right here, I'm like, all right, cool, looks like a good trade. I'd probably trade it. If I saw this right here, I'm like, no, I'm definitely not trading this. And then same with the UK 100. If I saw this right here, I definitely wouldn't be trading this right here. So as you guys can see, a lot of the indices right here, they're all choppy, right? They're going back and forth. The reason for that is because the Fed's speaking in about a couple hours. So yeah, guys, my recommendation is to just not trade today. If you guys want to trade, feel free, but you know, take that with a grain of salt and like understand that you're probably going to lose money today if you trade. So I'm not going to trade today because I'm not trying to lose any money, especially after we had all those wins this week. I'm not going to throw any of those profits away because I'm up pretty nice for this whole week so far. Yeah, short C mentioned today's just undefined directional day. So I'm just 0.1% up, better than negative. No, definitely short scene. If you made any profit today, you know, props to you guys. Some of you guys here did pretty well, you know, looking at people's profits over here. So if I pull up the save messages over here, let's see. So this is a timestamp from today. This is Marcus's profits. He made a 150 this morning. Patricia, she made 4,500. She passed a new challenge that she just did. Again, over here, she made 1,210 on this. I think this would be her funded account. And, congrats to Tariq over here. Tariq is, he just got funded on Funding Talent. So big congrats to Tariq. He's finally funded. He got funded yesterday after locking in all of these wins yesterday with us during the live session. So yeah, no, I mean, great work amongst everyone here. I think there's about 5 of you guys who passed FTMO or Funding Talent or whichever thing you're doing. But yeah, we definitely had a great week so far, and just straight wins since last Wednesday or last Thursday, I mean. So yeah, definitely big congrats to everybody here, for everyone to play. Let's see. Rand asked, what time is today's live stream? It's live right now. All right, let's see. Shawn over here too. So Shawn's up 276. So as you guys can see, people are still profiting here, even though I'm not trading. If you guys know the strategies and you guys can do it yourself, you guys can do just as well trading on your own. Shawn over here, you can see he took US 30 trades this morning, all wins, US 30 and NASDAQ 100. So nice work amongst you guys here. Dude, I feel like a lot of people are just like blind to it. Rain's saying, I can't, he's like, can you please send me the link? I can't find it. You scroll up, it's right there. It's literally like 2 posts above above where you're posting. But yeah, guys, so we have one here that's possibly closing out right here. So this might be an entry that you guys can possibly take. But like I mentioned, I'm not going to take any of these trades. I'm just going to mark them up for you. They're going to be at your own risk. So if you enter any trades today, guys, go into the trade with not big hopes, because you're probably the price is probably gonna get manipulated and you're probably gonna get stopped out before. So what I could probably see here is if you have this entry right here, what might happen is it'll just spike up, stop you out, and then come back down in a profit. And that's what I'm not trying to mess with, because the market is obviously being manipulated today. There's no direction set. There's always direction set for US 30 on open, like always. The only time there's no direction is when market's being manipulated one way or another. Let me scroll up real quick, see if I missed anything. All right, cool. Larry said, good advice, Shawn. I'm like tearing up this FTMO like a new baby, super carefully. Yeah, Larry, no, definitely. If you guys are doing FTMO, guys, your main goal is not to lose trades and to pass, right? There's no need for you to pass FTMO within like 2 or 3 days. I know a lot of you guys pass FTMO with me here the past 5 days because I've been giving you guys nothing but wins. But for days like this, it's best for you to just sit out and just protect your capital for a better trading day, because it's not smooth at all. All right, so no entry there. You can see that it's trying to close with the sell signal, but every time it gets close to it, it fails to close. Here's another scalp here. I missed this one right here again too. So sorry guys, I missed this one over here, but this is another scalp here on the 1 minute for whoever took it right there. It went straight to profit with no drawdown. So same strategy again right here. Confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Confirm it's breaking, closing past the K2 pivot. It's not doing that. So we would ignore 2A. We go down to 2B. Confirm prices below for a sell. So like looking at this right here, this is, this is a straight profit right here, using the same strategy that was applied here that Marcus used to hit his full TP earlier. So yeah, if you guys have profits you guys want to share with me or share with the group, go ahead and send them over, and then we can, I can probably add them to the group here. But let me see if there's any other questions here before I continue on. Let's see. AJ is asking, I traded my FTMO demo for 2 days, made 8K on a 50K account. I stopped trading for a week or so. Now it says I didn't pass and they offer me a new demo to restart. What do you think I did wrong? They don't tell me. AJ, so you only traded for 2 days. there's a trading requirement where you have to trade for 10 days, right? So you didn't pass all the requirements. So that's why they just gave you a restart. The reason for the restart is because if you close out the challenge in positive equity, then they give you a free restart. But, and this is like something that like I always remind people, don't do FTMO until you guys actually understand all the requirements, because a lot of people do FTMO and they fail it and they don't understand why. It's good that you did a demo because you didn't understand it yet, AJ. But looking at or Carrie, that's your name, Carrie. Yeah, looking at this here, I mean, there's the requirements are pretty clear. The requirements are that, so you did a 50K account. The requirements are that you trade for a minimum of 10 days, right? You traded for 2 days, so you failed this requirement here. You didn't reach your max daily loss, so you passed that. You didn't reach your maximum loss, so you're fine at that, and you made 8K profit, right? So you made the profit target, but you didn't do the minimum trading days. So this is how you failed your challenge right here, Carrie. You need to trade for at least 10 days. You don't have to take any trade, like any big trades. You could just take a penny trade to count the days. But if you don't take the 10 days, the requirements here are pretty straightforward. You trade for 10 days, you failed to do that. So that's why you failed the challenge. But you closed out in positive equity. So closing on positive equity gave you a free retry, because they're just showing that they're basically telling you like, hey, Carrie, you didn't understand what you're supposed to do here, but you did show that you can trade. So they let you do it again. So yeah, no problem, Carrie. In the next for your next retry, just make sure that you when you make that 8K profit, you're not done yet. You have every day after that, just open a trade for like a 0.01, a penny trade, open it and close it. That way you'll count the trading days. But yeah, that's the main reason why you didn't pass it, because of the minimum trading day requirement here. Once you're funded, there's no more minimum trading day. It's only when you're in the challenge, because the thing is, they just want to make sure that you didn't just get lucky one day and want to trade and pass. They want to make sure that you're consistent with your trades, even though it's a small profit, that you can still trade every day. That's why we're so good at FTMO, right? FTMO is more geared towards like scalpers, because the thing is, prior to the new the new change here, because before this was required for the funded accounts, and this would be an issue for swing traders because they take like one trade a month, right? But yeah, no, I mean, now Carrie. So then moving forward, you'll know that you have to take a trade at least once for 10 days. All right, so I don't see anything here, guys. I don't know if you guys have any other questions, or if there's anything else that you guys want me to cover. Let me just scroll over real quick. Chris is asking, would you be able to go over the snipe strategy, 10-minute time frame, just the SR zone? Yeah, sure, Chris. Let me go over here to the 10-minute real quick. Let me just delete everything over here. So let me just see if I could find something here for, I guess something for us to look at. So I'm going to go to like where the market's like moving kind of normally, because over there it's kind of, it's a little impossible for us to find. Okay, so say like right here, these are the zones, right? You turn on the K2SR zones, you have these zones marked up. You don't have to mark up every single zone, because a lot of them are irrelevant. Like if price is down here, you don't really care where the zones are up here, right? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. So if I rewind this to here, I'm just going to show you an entry. This is the K2SR zone right here. I'll go over the K2 US 30 snipe strategy, 10-minute time frame. So first you want to confirm a wick rejection off K2 SR zone. 2, confirm a wick rejection off, oh sorry, this is backwards. Wick rejection off any K2 pivot. The second requirement is rejection off K2 SR zone. Third, accidentally closed it out. There you go. Third, you want to confirm wick rejection off pivot does not touch candle body. And then lastly, you want to confirm direction of momentum using K2 momentum indicator. All right, so this is the strategy right here, Chris. Basically, for first, you want to confirm a wick rejection off any K2 pivot. Looking at this current candle right here, you can see a wick rejecting off this green pivot right here, right? So that's going to be requirement number one. Requirement number two, you want to confirm a wick rejection off K2SR zone. There's a zone right here. You can see that same candle is wicking off the zone. So you can see it's pushing off the pivot and the zone, right? This is indicating that price is likely to come down because it's giving you two confluences here that, you know, price is rejecting off here and price is also rejecting off here. So with that said, third requirement, you just want to make sure that the wick rejection off the pivot doesn't touch the candle body. The pivot's way up here and the candle body's down here. This is showing that there's nothing blocking its move, right? It's pretty much, it's ready to go down. Like we're anticipating price to drop from this point. So lastly, you just want to confirm the direction of momentum right here. The most recent momentum signal was a sell signal. So there's three confluences right there, right? Or four actually. First confluence is it's rejecting off this pivot. This is indicating that it's going to push downwards. Second confluence, it's rejecting off this K2SR zone. So it's indicating the same thing, that's going to push downwards. Third confirmation, it's just showing that this pivot isn't touching the candle body. So it's far from it. It's pushing off the pivot pretty far off. And then lastly, this momentum confirmation right here indicates that price is going to go down. So with that said, you would enter a short position right here. And then you would shoot for about 500 pips. That's generally our TP stop loss for the snipe entry. And then from there, you let it run. And check that out, full TP with no drawdown. Because everything that we identified here played out exactly how we thought it would, right? All of our confluences lined up. We identified that price was going to push in this direction. And what happened? It pushed in this direction. So this is how the strategy works, Chris. So that's it for that right there. Let me see if there's anything else for me to cover before we continue on. Let's see, Chardonnay said, I do have a question for FTMO. If you start, say, a 25K count pass, do you have to go through the challenge again for the 100K count? Yeah, Chardonnay, you have to go through the challenge for every account that you start. You don't automatically get, like, you're not going to pass 25K and they're not going to be like, oh, here's 100K just because you passed the easier one, right? So yeah, Chardonnay, if you want to do like, sorry, I already closed the window for FTMO, but if you want to do a different account size, you would have to do the challenge again. Because I mean, it's just, you know, just think logically, like if you were to fund someone and they passed something for $1, right? You're not going to give them $100 just because they did it for $1. You want to make sure that they're, you know, they're consistent along the different account sizes. Because a lot of people get tripped out on account sizes, right? Some people have never traded an account that big before. So what happens is they think it's, you know, they get scared because they're like, oh, I go from a 10K account to a 100K account, when in reality, it's the same thing. All you do is increase the lot size. You just keep trading the same way you've been trading. And all you need to do is increase your lot size. So like for me, going from 100K to 200K, that's completely fine because I just go from a 5 lot to a 10 lot. It makes no difference in my trading strategy. I just change the lot size. And that's pretty much all that you really do, you know, if that becomes the case. So let me see if there's anything else over here. Here, let me see. Tariq's the one who passed it. All right, cool. So yeah, some of you guys are asking. Sandra over here, she took a couple trades. Looks like she's up. I don't know if this is $7 or €7, but no, definitely nice profit off this, Sandra. So it doesn't matter if you guys have a big account or a small account. I mean, you guys can still do pretty well. Like Sandra over here, she took a couple trades that we marked up here and she locked them in. So definitely some nice profit off that right there, Sandra. I'm not sure if you took the same sell that we marked up earlier here on the 1 minute, but it looks like that might have been it right here for your trade right there, where you made about $5 or €5. I'm not sure if you're trading euros or dollars since you're international. I'm assuming it's euros. So yeah, nice work, Sandra. Nice. Chardonnay too. So Chardonnay locked in $95 right here off US 30. I'm not sure if you took the same sell that I marked up right here, but definitely it said I literally got in and out, made a few coins. Yeah, no, definitely. That's a smart move right there, Chardonnay, because you don't know where price is going to go in a bit. Oh man, here comes a show off over here. Kyle took the sells and the buys. So he took both of the sells right there. He locked in 4,529. So definitely great work, Kyle. Kyle over here. He took trades and didn't even tell us. Selfish. Oh, that's Josh. Okay, so Josh was a selfish one over here. So Josh locked in some nice profit right here. Actually, he locked in 4,529. Let me check out the K2 admin group over here. Yeah, no, so some of the K2 members or the K2 admins over here made some pretty nice profit off this. Definitely some good entries there. Let's see, Kelvin's asking 10-minute is a valid entry. See, I'm trying to figure out. Any chart I don't see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Kelvin just asked if there was a valid entry here on the 10-minute in the premium chat. I don't really see an entry right there. There's no snipe entry because the zone's like way up here. I don't know if this would be. No, I wouldn't consider that because it's not really a zone. It's just there's no wick right there. Yeah, so I don't see an entry there, Kelvin. If you want to send a chart, I could probably look at it. I think Kelvin is looking at this right here. He thinks that this is possibly an entry right here, but I don't really consider this a zone because there's no zone. It's just a little line right there. So I probably wouldn't consider that an entry because it would need to be a wick rejection off the pivot, right? And the SR zone. There's no rejection off the SR zone right here. So I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I don't know, Kyle or Kelvin, if you're on this session right now. But yeah, nothing right there. Yeah, no problem, Chardonnay. Let me see. Activity said looks like US 30 is going down in 1 hour. Yeah, no, I can see that too. But so the thing with that two activities is it looks like it's going down, but the problem is we have the Fed speaking in a couple hours. So this, I mean, so the thing with this right here is this can easily just spike all the way up, right? So I'm just gonna mark up. Oh, we have news right now, actually. So we have news coming up in about 1 minute. We have the crude oil inventories. Let's see. The news hasn't been updated yet, but yeah, I mean, basically, damn, it's freaking hot here, guys. It's super hot in California this week. I don't know if you guys are having this heat wave, but in California, it's super hot here. But the sky looks kind of weird too. It's all orange. It's really starting to feel like summer. But yeah, guys, anyway, so going back to you know what I was just talking about over here, it does look like it's going to come down activities, but I would probably wait because the short scenes here from my side, US 30 is going up. Yeah, no, exactly. Short scenes. So like you guys can see here, different people have different analysis, and that's completely fine. You know, it's not wrong for activities for you to think that it's going to go down, and it's not wrong for short scene to think that's going to go up, because literally it can go in either direction. This is why I'm not trading today, because it's just too risky. It's too risky for me because I like trading when it's going one directional, but today it just isn't really going that way for us. Javid said, can you show your profit? I mean, I didn't trade today, Javid, but I'll show everyone else's profit. So Kyle made 4,500. Chardonnay made about 100. Sandra made about, I think, 10 euros there. Shawn made 272. This timestamp for today right here. Marcus right here made 148. Patricia made 4,500. And then her account, she made 1,200. So, I mean, people made profit today. There hasn't been a day like in the past year, I don't think since where someone in K2 hasn't made profit, right? If you guys look here, if you guys want to see anyone's profits for any day, you can just, you can let me know if you want to see someone's random profits from like, let's go to a random date, like, I don't know, June 4th, right? On June 4th, Rick made 550 bucks. Cheryl over here made about 4,600 bucks. Alan made about 2,000 bucks. If you guys want to go back to like another random date in May, let's go to like May 6th, right? You can see Alt over here made about 300 bucks. Sanjeev made about 1,000 bucks. Slava here made about 1,500. There's days here. I mean, there hasn't been a day in like the past year where someone hasn't made profit. I could literally pull up any date here and show anyone's profit. So if there's a day where you guys are wondering, if anyone's profitable that day, there's been at least one person in K2 who's been profitable every single day for the for the past year or so, when we started documenting these, because I just started documenting these profits like recently. I don't know how far it goes, but it does go pretty far back. Yeah, so you guys can see the timestamp here. I mean, it goes pretty far back. If you guys are wondering, a day that people have taken profits, to see if like, that was a day that you probably could have taken profits or should have made profits. So let me see, anything else over here? Yeah, crude oil inventory just came out. So let me just see if there's anything that really caused the market to move. So let's check out the crude oil inventories. Crude oil inventories is it was actually negative 7.4. So it was like good news for the crude oil inventories, but it didn't really move market at all. Market's kind of flat now. We have the next up, we have the Fed speaking. So the Fed speaking in about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, in about less than 3 hours. So in about 3 hours, the Fed's going to be speaking right here at 11 a.m. my time. It's 7:30 right now. So in about 3 hours, they're going to be speaking. So we're probably going to see, I mean, market's probably going to be kind of slow until then. It's probably just going to be flat. And then as soon as the Fed starts speaking here at 11, or maybe like right before it. So market's probably just going to keep going back and forth. It's just going to keep ranging. I think this is probably what's, it's probably just going to range from here, like down here. Price is probably just going to keep ranging back and forth from here. And then once it reaches 11, it's going to either spike up super heavily or it's going to spike down super heavily. So, just keep that in mind if you guys plan to continue trading. This is when the Fed starts speaking at 11. So, well, I mean, I'll hang out with you guys, and if you guys have questions, I'll answer them. But I'm not really going to trade because I don't want to get caught in this trap here as price continues to move along. And I'll keep this marked up, so I'll show you what happens from here until 11. I don't really think it's going to move very much, so that's why I don't think it's a good idea to trade from now until then. So let me just scroll up real quick, see if I missed anything. David said, just making sure you trade a minimum of 10 days. Oh yeah, no, definitely. So David's perfectly right with that. Larry's asking, are all those colored lines pivots or just the green one? Yeah, Larry. So all of these colored lines right here, these are all pivots. So red, orange, yellow, and green. These are all pivots. This is pivot 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can change the colors if you want. If that's confusing for you, you can always change the colors here in the settings. Because some people have changed. I've seen a lot of people change yellow to blue, because they said that the yellow is kind of hurting their eyes, so they changed it to blue. But yeah, those are pivots right there, Larry. Goldie said a daily entry is a sell. Oh yeah, you're right. So I'll just mark this up right here. I mean, obviously I'm not going to take it, but we'll just mark it up for reference for whoever decides to take the trade. It's gonna be 1,500 pips. So I'll just mark it up there. This is the strategy right here at the daily entry. Basically for this, you let it run all day for the most part, but I'm not taking it. It's just, like I mentioned, there's a lot of news going on today, so I'm not going to mess with it. Let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, down. So Kyle said Yellen spoke at 10 o'clock. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock is when Yellen spoke. Oh, that's probably what caused the drop right here, huh, Kyle? Or actually, yeah. So at 7 o'clock right here, price started dropping and then now it's shifting back up. I didn't even know that. Roman said, I guess it may be fire season in Cali. Same here in Vancouver. Super dry all spring. Yeah, no, it's just this week. Last week was pretty decent, but this week we have a heat wave. We're like in the 100-degree range. Normally it's only supposed to be around like the 80-degree range, but this week it's all in 100 degrees. So there's probably going to be some fire here, especially around the area. All right, Goldie, see you tomorrow. All right, Patricia. Yeah, Patricia said, Shawn, signing off market is way too crazy and risky right now. Yeah, definitely, Patricia. I'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, Patricia here, you can see the profits she made for the day. She made some pretty good profits, so she's done for the day, right? She locked in 4,500 off her new account, and then her other account over here 1,210. So if you add those up, Patricia is up 1,210 plus 4,500. She's up 5,710 for the day. So she's pretty much done. See if there's anything else here for me to look at. Activities is asking for FTMO 10K account, what lot sizes is safe for US 30? So activity. So for me, here, I'll pull up FTMO again. So I'll just show you guys, it's a pretty simple math equation that I use when I calculate this. So like basically right here, if you're doing a 10K account, activity. So you're doing a 10K account, right? Your max daily loss is $500, right? So if you're doing $500, that's your max loss. You basically want to divide that by 3 because you want to take at least, you want to be able to suffer at least 3 losses in one day before you call it a trading day. So your loss per trade is going to be 166. That's like the most you can lose, right? So in order to figure out, what your lot size should be, usually our stop loss is around 500 pips. So if you're using not a 0.10 or maybe a 0.10, we'll just do the math here. 0.10 times 500, right? You're gonna lose $50 off that. That's too small. So maybe like a 0.3 times 500. You're losing about 150. So you should be using between a 0.02 and a 0.03 lot size activities. And the reason for that is because I'll just mark it right here. Or no, it's going to be confusing for me to type it up. So basically, I don't know if you caught my drift there with what I just went over activity. So basically right here, you can only lose 500 in a day, right? And then you're done. You're pretty much done. So if you divide that by 3, you'll have, you want to lose the max you want to lose is about 166 per trade, so that you can have at least 2 full losses. If that becomes a case, we don't really lose here very often, so it's not something that you should worry about. But you just want to be safe. So you should be using between a 0.1 and a 0.3 lot size if you're trading FTMO on a $10,000 account. That's pretty much your, pretty much what you should be trading from. All right, let me see if there's any other questions here. Harris is asking, does crude oil news affect futures? I mean, it affects everything, Harris, because oil has a big impact on the economy. So I wouldn't limit it to just oil. I would limit it to pretty much everything. Even the US dollar here, it could affect the US dollar. So I would say that it affects pretty much everything. It doesn't necessarily need to affect it, but it can affect it. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you, that it could affect it. Let me scroll down a little further. Chris is asking, does the K2 strategies work with individual stocks? Yeah, I mean, it works on everything. It's based off momentum. So as long as the market's moving, then yeah, you can use it. I mean, certain strategies will work better for certain assets, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, it works on anything. I mean, I could even pull up a stock for you. Do you have a stock in mind that you like to trade, Chris? I'm trying to think what's a popular one, like Amazon, right? That's something someone asked about Amazon yesterday. If you're applying the pivot strategy here, like you said, because you like the pivot strategy, right? So if you're applying the pivot strategy here, I mean, it works perfectly fine, right? You just have to figure out where your target would be. So like, for example, here, I don't know how far you would go because I don't trade individual stocks like that. I mean, if you're trading individual stocks like this, I mean, there's different strategies that you can apply. But looking at that right there, that's a full TP right there. If you apply the pivot strategy, again, right here, another full TP, again, right here, another full TP. I mean, it depends on what time frame you plan on trading too, Chris. So, I mean, if you have the indicators, you can play around with it. This is the 3-minute. If you go in the 10-minute, this is probably a bit smoother. So the 10-minute here, you take that trade there, full TP. You take another trade right here, full TP, right? If you apply the pivot strategy that you like to apply that we talked about earlier, you can see that there is 4 back-to-back wins right here for Amazon if you were to apply the same strategy to stocks. So, I mean, these strategies are based off momentum. So as long as the market's moving, look, they're all wins here, literally all wins. So if you apply this on Amazon or whatever stock you like to trade, like these are all literally wins here. So, I mean, I don't, does that show you that it works, Chris? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins there. That's Amazon. I don't know what's another popular stock that you guys like to trade. And when we're talking about stocks, I mean, we're not talking about those pumping up stocks, right? Like, I'm not saying to use this on like AMC or some shit like that, like something that's all speculative. You got to use it on something that's actually moving, like, I don't know, Facebook or something like that, right? Facebook, same situation here. I mean, it works perfectly fine. Facebook, full TP there. Another one right here, full TP right there. So, just for demonstrational purposes, it works perfectly fine on whatever you want to apply it on. Let me scroll over here real quick. Chris said, and to get access to your K2 strategies, you need to sign up. Yeah, exactly. If you guys want access to these indicators here so that you can apply these strategies and lock in profits like Patricia here, 4,000, 1,000, something like that, just go on the website, k2trades.com over here, and then click on K2 strategy course right here. If you click on that, you'll get access to all of the strategies and these indicators here. I mean, there's no pressure for you guys to get it, but if you guys want to take the opportunity and maximize your profit gains, then you can learn the same strategies that we apply here every day. This is pretty much all of these saved messages here, like all of these saved profits here, like House Profit 4,000 right there. Patricia 4,000 right there. All these profits are made using these strategies here. So, the opportunity is there. If you guys want to take the opportunity, it's available to you. If not, that's completely fine, because I mean, we're going to keep profiting whether you learn the strategy or not. So it's really up to you if you want to take that opportunity. Everyone here is taking that opportunity, and that's why we have consistent profits every day, right? Tommy made 4,000 yesterday. Mark made 100. Jeff made 1,700. Roland made 1,000. Romano made 1,000. Everyone makes profits here every single day because we apply the same strategies every day. So, if you guys want the opportunity, it's available to you. If not, that's completely fine. You can just keep watching the profits roll in for everyone else while you watch. So yeah, like I mentioned, there's no pressure. If you guys want to sign up, sign up. If you don't, then you can keep watching me trade live pretty much every morning. Let me scroll over here real quick and see. Dalton said to check out Tesla. Yeah, so I mean, the strategy works here as well for Tesla, right? So right here, another pivot entry right there. Right there for a drop. The thing with stocks though is that I wouldn't, I would use this for intraday trading. I wouldn't necessarily use it for swing trading. I mean, you can, but personally, stocks move differently every day. So I wouldn't necessarily, and if you're swing trading, you'd use it on the higher time frame, like the 1 hour or something like that. And it still works perfectly fine, just depending on what you're applying it with. Chris is asking, what is minimum account? Hey, Chris, are you, so I get that question a lot, and it's a question that like, it just really doesn't make sense. So Chris is asking, what's the minimum account size you need? I mean, you could use any account size you want, but your profits are going to reflect your account size, right? If you have a $10 account, don't expect to make $1 million tomorrow. If you have, it just depends, right? You can use any account size you want. Like a lot of new traders ask that question. And the thing is, I feel like you don't understand risk management, right, Chris? So thing is, you're looking for like, a 3 to 5% gain a day. So if you have $100 account and you're going for 5%, you're going to make like you're aiming to make $5 max that day, right? If you have $1,000 account, you go for 5%, you're going to go for $50. You got to use proper risk. So, I mean, there's no minimum account. And the question that you're asking, it depends on broker too. So I don't know what broker you're using. Each broker requires different minimum account sizes. So, I mean, it really depends on what broker you use or how much profit you plan to make. If you want to make more profit, you got to have a bigger account, right? So yeah, I mean, sorry, I want to answer your question, but I can't because there's no, like, I don't know what broker you're using. I don't know what you plan on trading. If you plan on trading US 30, you need a bigger account because this is an expensive asset to trade. If you plan on trading stocks, I don't know if you're trading Tesla. I don't know if you're trading penny stocks. If you're trading Tesla, it's like $500 a share, right? You're not going to trade Tesla with like a $10 account. So, if you could be a little more specific with like what you're trading, what you plan on trading, what time frame you plan on trading on, what broker you plan on using. I mean, there's a lot of questions I can ask you to get more details, Chris, but look up any broker website. If you plan on trading with Hugo's Way, or if you plan on trading with TD Ameritrade, go on the website. It's use a Google search, right? Just so here, this is what I'll do. I'll TD Ameritrade minimum account, right? You can just open Google up and then you can search out. If you want to trade on TD Ameritrade, there's an FHA right there. What's the minimum account required to open an account? Right? If you want to trade on Hugo's Way or anything really, I mean, there's like a million brokers out there, and I don't have the answer for like every single thing because everything's very specific. So depending on what you want to look at, you can open this here, 2,000 minimum, right? If you want to open on Hugo's Way, I think they allow like a very small minimum, but it depends on what you plan on trading. So yeah, what I would recommend is do your own research, go on Google, just search whatever you're looking for, and you can find your own answers that way. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Chris said he has $1,000 already in Quest. I've never heard of Quest Trade before, so I don't have any answers for that. But yeah, if they allow that, then honestly, I've never heard of Quest Trade ever in my life, so I don't even know what they are. Let me just look it up. Quest Trade. Is this an offshore broker? Let me just see real quick. Yeah, because I'm like curious to. It's weird. Yeah, I've never. It looks like it's Canadian. Okay, so that's probably why I've never heard of it. But it looks like a smaller brand. Yeah, so it's a Canadian broker. But yeah, I've never heard of this, and I've never had anyone else trade on this before. So I can't really answer your question for that, Chris. Sorry, bro. But yeah, I mean, if you use one of the more bigger brokers, like TD Ameritrade is one of the bigger ones. If you want to trade stocks, I forgot what the other ones are called. I have them on my phone. I don't really use them though. Oh yeah, like Webull, Thinkorswim, Forex.com. I mean, there's different brokers you can use, but it's going to vary depending on which broker you plan on using, Chris. Let me scroll up real quick. Short Scene said, hi, Shawn. From starting to now, what's your max payout from FTMO in a month? In a month, I think probably, I can't really remember. It was probably like maybe 30K or maybe 40K around there. Because like I show you guys, I usually trade pretty conservatively. Obviously, as the year progressed, I'm starting to make more. So this year is probably gonna be big too. But generally, it's about like 30 to 40K. I think that's like max. And that's me trading like normally. I've been trading a little more conservatively, and I've been trading a little more riskier. So that's pretty much like the max that I've done. I know it might not seem like a lot, but you know, if I'm consistent with that, like every month, like, you know, for example, if I do 30K a month, 12 months, that's like 360K right there. And obviously it's going to keep increasing higher and higher as I start to trade bigger accounts. Cause I didn't get this 200K account until recently. Shorts, you know, I was on a 100K account. So like, you know, with the 100K account, that's actually, that's a big jump. Cause if you're doing a 100K account and then I did 30K, that's like a 30% in that 30% profit for the month. So yeah, I mean, you know, now that I'm on the 200K and then I have the other account, it's obviously I'm probably gonna be making a lot more consistency with that. Yeah, no problem, Chris. You know, sorry, I wanted to answer your question a little better, but I've never heard of your broker, and then also your question is very open ended. So, like maybe if you want to ask tomorrow, like more specifics, like which broker you plan on using, like something that I'm familiar with, and I can probably answer your question. Because like if you wanted to trade US 30 on Hugo's way, you would need like at least 1,000. If you wanted to trade US 30 on FOREX, you can trade with like 500. So, you know, it's a big difference between different brokers and the different assets you plan on trading. If you plan on trading Forex, you can trade Forex with like $100. You don't really need very much. But if you want to trade stocks, you know, obviously you would need a bit more. Kenny. Yeah, no, definitely. Kenny said whoever says 30K a month isn't a lot is lying to themselves. Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, there's like levels to this, right? Like I was going from making not very much to like making a lot more, and then even more consistently since my win rate's so much higher now. But yeah, no, definitely, it's a continuous growth. Yeah, short teams you mentioned 30% profit a month. That's very, yeah. So on a good month, that's a good month for me, like 30% return. It doesn't happen every month, but you know, ever since we started applying just this US, like ever since I started focusing on only US 30 and taking these breakout entries and just trading New York session, my profits have just been stacking every single month. So I'm expecting a way bigger return as the year progresses. So let me see. Let me see if I missed anything else. So Javid said, I passed my FTMO. What loss size should I use for US 30 for verification, 1% risk? Count size is 35K. What's your max daily loss, Javid? Because I've never seen a 35K count. Is there a 35K count here? Let me see. I'm not sure what your max daily loss is. I'm assuming it's like, let's pull up the FTMO website again. Yeah, I don't see a 35K count here. So I mean 35,000. Your max daily loss is going to be 1,700, 1,750. So like, for example, right here, if this is your max daily loss, you divide that by 3. Your max loss is going to be about, per trade, is going to be about 583. So if you're trading that, you can probably take a standard lot. Because if you do a standard lot, that'll be a 500, let's see, two lot, or let me see, 1.5 times 500. No, it's too high. Yeah, you should probably use I don't know the conversion for the pound, Javid. So you have to do the math yourself. So if you want to, I mean, what's the conversion for that? I'm assuming it's here. Let me just see if I can look it up here. GBP USD conversion. All right, so he said he has 35,000 pounds. That's about 50,000. Okay, so you have a 50K count right here, basically 50K. So your max loss is 2,500. You'd probably use a 2,500 divided by 3, 830. Okay, so you could probably use a 1.5. So 1.5 times 500, 1.7 times 500. All right, so you probably want to use a 1.5 or a 1.6. Yeah, 1.6 seems a little better. So yeah, about 1.6 to trade US 30. that'll keep you within the range. So if you use a 1.6, you can lose 3 trades back to back before you reach your max daily loss. But that's not really something to worry about because we never really lose that much. We probably lose like once or twice a month. You know, we don't have that many losses. Like looking at our results from last, let's see. Scroll up. Okay, so looking at our trades here for US 30. So last month, or for this month, we have 20 wins and 1 loss for June. That's just for this month. For May, we had 51 wins and 2 losses. For April, we had 42 wins and 4 losses. You know, that's pretty much what we you know, what we've been applying it for. So yeah, you should probably use a 1.6. Yeah, no problem, Javid. Falcon asked kind of a far-fetched question, but have you ever dabbled into algo trading with your strategy? Yeah, I have an algo for it, Falcon, but it's it needs a lot of work. So it's something that needs to be updated pretty often. It's just too much work for me to really work on. The problem with using an algo for this strategy that we use for the breakout is that we factor in fundamentals, right? So it's kind of hard to factor in fundamentals because, you know, teaching AI to see what we're seeing when we look at fundamentals over here is not an easy task because it's, you know, you'd have to find data that we could feed to the algo regarding whether it's like negative 100 or positive 100. And even at that case, it still wouldn't work out as smoothly. So I do have an algo for the original strategy, the intraday strategy, but I haven't used it for years because it just needed it needed a lot of maintenance, and I just don't trust algos with certain things. But no, we're definitely looking into an algo for certain other strategies. I don't know if Kyle's here, but you know, it's Kyle's thing right there. He's been looking to make an algo for a while now. But yeah, okay, cool. So I think that's it for the questions. Let me see if there's anything else over here real quick. Lethal's asking, would you ever make this indicator for MT4? No, MT4 is too outdated of a platform, Lethal. So I'm never gonna make it for MT4. I mean, you know, if you compare MT4 to to TradingView, I mean, this is like comparing like a 2020 computer to like a 1990 computer right here, right? So I don't think that I'd be able to run the code on MT4 anyways. It won't be as accurate as it is on TradingView because this is way far ahead of its time compared to MT4. So there's no plan for me to ever port this over to MT4 Lethal. And you know, MT4 is getting phased out. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of brokers aren't even using MT4 anymore. A lot of them are moving to MT5. So I don't plan on moving it over ever really, because we already have something that works here. There's no point in me switching it over. And the problem with trading on MT4 is like I can't take screenshots like I do here on TradingView, right? If I'm trying to show you guys something, I can't just like, you know, click screenshot and then send it over to you guys. Let me just scroll up real quick. But yeah, Falcon, going back to your question, I do have the algo for the original strategy. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's the intraday strategy here. So like, for example, you know, actually I have it right here. I could even show you. Yeah, so I have my algo right here. You can see that it marks up all the trades for me, right? So this is something like odd cat right here, and then my algo will give me the profitability of this trade. Like for this on the 30-minute, it's only for short positions, it has a 54% win rate, right? So my algo right here, like I have this where it can automatically execute the trades. So I do have an algo here for the intraday strategy. It's just this was used for backtesting purposes. Like you can see that the win rate's not really high right now because it doesn't factor in news. It also doesn't factor in, I mean, it doesn't factor in a lot of things that are important. But there's a lot of things that can be changed to, oh, you know, obviously because this is set up properly. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, just looking at this here, this is pretty much the algo that I have for this strategy here. I mean, it's not perfect, but like I mentioned, it needs to be revamped. So there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. But yeah, I mean, you know, in the future, maybe we'll all work on this algo to make it better. But I mean, it still has a decent win rate. Like even for this right here, it still shows that it has over a 50% win rate. That's all you really need, right? You need above a 50% win rate. If you can have above a 50%, then you just got to find which asset has the highest win rate, right? So if you look here, so one favorite pair that people like to trade is GJ. So here's GJ right here. And then this is on the 30-minute. So like, for example, here, it has a less than 50% win rate. But if we go on the 10-minute, this has a 60% win rate, right? So the algo works better on the short time frames in some instances. 15-minute, it has a high win rate for long positions right here. On the 1-minute, it has about a 50% win rate. So this is I mean, there's things that you can change to make things better to increase the win rate here. But yeah, that's the algo for the original K2 strategy. Marcus is asking, did you take any trades yet, Shawn? No, I'm not taking any trades today. I'm just chilling for the most part. Market's just too crazy. Let me go back to US 30 real quick. So you guys can see right here, I marked up US 30 earlier, and I said it was going to range within this area, right? Look what's happening. It's literally ranging from where I said it was going to from here. So basically from market open. So literally the entire session right here for, let's see, for the past almost 2 hours now, it's just been ranging. Just preparing for that breakout right there. Okay, so Falcon said there is a MACD strategy that apparently gives 70 to 74% win rate with a 1.5 to 1 risk reward for Forex. I saw it on this channel called Trading Rush. Would love if you would give it a look. Yeah, I'll try to look at it after this session, Falcon. I'm not going to look at it right here, obviously, because I don't want to confuse people with different strategies, but I'll try to take a look at it. I already have an idea of what that MACD strategy is, because I've used something like that before. You know, I've been trading for like 11 years, so I've tried almost every strategy that has somewhat of profitability, and that's how I created the K2 strategies. I basically pulled all the best things from every strategy that I learned, and I made it to some sort of super strategy here with my own custom indicators. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, definitely no problem, Falcon. I'll try to take a look at it, and we could probably talk about it maybe tomorrow or sometime into the week. If I forget, just remind me tomorrow because I just got a lot of stuff to do, so I might forget, but I'll definitely take a look when I have time. Roland's asking, what's your take on order blocks? Spoke briefly on it the past with possible indicator coming soon. Yeah, Roland. So I haven't really came up with the order blocks indicator. I don't think it's really necessary with what we're applying now. Also because I can just identify it on my own. So like, here's like a quick way to do it. Like usually the way that I do when I look for order blocks is I look for a breakout of some sort. And then it's just kind of hard for me to create one that doesn't repaint, right? I think that's the main thing right here. But yeah, in order for me to look at an order block, I'm trying to find an example here. So for example, right here is a breakout upwards. I don't know if this would be considered an order block, but generally I would mark that up there, and then I would see if it retests. So, I mean, there's different ways of identifying order blocks, and it depends on the time frame. So I still haven't worked on it yet because it's not of importance right now, Roland, but probably in the future, I'll probably have my coder work on it. Because the thing is, what we have working right now works perfectly fine. So I just feel like, if we take attention away from what works right now, and I try to focus on like an order block indicator, it's just going to throw off our groove and it's going to mess things up. So I haven't really looked into it, but I do know how to identify order blocks manually. So if I see a good order block, I'll obviously I'll show you so I can show you an example, but I just don't see one right here, especially not on the 10-minute. Yeah, well, I guess you could use this as an order block right here, but still no, it's still not that good. All right, so yeah, if I start working on the future, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated, but there's no future updates for the order block indicator for K2 anytime in the near future. Larry mentioned, hey Shawn, FTMO question: do you know after you're funded, you don't make the minimum amount for any given month? Do you lose the FTMO or get a small percentage? No, Larry. So once you're funded, you can make any profit. You can make $1, and then they'll give you 70 cents for your payout. There's no minimum amount to make. There's no minimum trading day. It's just not blowing the account and not failing any of the max losses. So once you're funded, it's a lot easier. And that's why I pull out of trades earlier, right? So a lot of you guys sometimes ask me, why do I pull out of the US 30 trades early? It's because the main focus when trading, once you're funded, is just locking in profits and not losing. That's the main thing for you guys to focus on once you're funded. But yeah, there's no more profit requirement or a daily trading requirement for FTMO once you're funded, Larry. Miles said, I just noticed you got a fresh fade, Shawn. Yeah, thanks, bro. I got the you say he's wearing new boxers too. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, I actually just got a haircut yesterday with Jaime. I don't know if Jaime's in here, my barber. He's trading with us now too, so he's about to make some profits here with us. See, Jetta said there's someone at my job that looks like Shawn. I was about to ask him about K2. Too funny, Jetta. Yeah, no, definitely. I have a common looking face from what I've heard from a lot of people. All right, so let me see if there's any other questions here. So I think that's about it for today, guys. We've been on the session for a while, and there's just not much for us to really look at. Let's see. Marcus said, yeah, exactly. Tomorrow will be another day. Nice. Marcus is gonna go ride his dirt bike for a bit. I was thinking about getting a dirt bike too, Marcus. I'm not sure where you live, but here in California, I mean, you kind of have to drive off a little far to use a dirt bike unless you want to drive it on the street. But I definitely want to get something like that and a Sea-Doo. Yeah, no, definitely have fun, Marcus. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. I don't have any other questions from you guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram. You know, unfortunately, we weren't able to take any trades today. Well, I personally wasn't able to take any trades today. It looks like a lot of you guys made some pretty decent profit though. So looking at the profits for today, we had Kyle over here made 4,500. We had Chardonnay make about 100. We had Sandra over here make about 10 euros. We had Shawn over here made about 272. We had Marcus make 150 right there. Patricia made about 5,000 or 4,500. And on her other account, she made 1,200. And also big congrats to Tariq over here. He just got funded on Funding Talent. I think he's one of the first people here to get funded on Funding Talent. Most of us are using FTMO, but big congrats to Tariq for getting funded. I know it's a long process for Funding Talent to get funded. So big congrats to you, Tariq. He's been with us from, let me see. Tariq has been with K2 since April. So he's been trading with us from April, and he pretty much got funded since then. So I know it takes a couple months to get funded with Funding Talent, but big congrats to you for getting funded. So anyways, I think that's about it. Oh man, Marcus from Baltimore, bro. So you probably ride your dirt bike on the streets, huh? This is crazy. You're on the East Coast, right? Like when they ride their dirt bikes. Probably one of those dudes running from the cops, huh? I'm just messing with you. But yeah, guys. So other than that's it for now, guys. I don't have any other questions. That was weird. I heard like some noise. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for today. So if you guys have questions, reach out on Telegram or email me. I'll be online for a bit, and then I'll probably be logging off. But I'll keep this marked up here, and we'll see what happens when the FOMC goes off in about 2 or 3 hours. So other than that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the live session. And if you guys have any other questions right now, just reach out to me on Telegram. So have a great morning, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, Marcus said he